No, I have no familial relation to Rasputin. You can put the poisoned wine away. Hey there, kids. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank. I'm that you are having a fantastic day. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Flesh and Blood. Specifically, we're going to be talking about the upcoming, soon-to-be-released Smash Palace box, set, product, whatever you want to call it. For those of you who don't know, Smash Palace is a side product to the upcoming Mastery Pack Guardian, which introduces six new heroes, comes with 12 packs, an event deck, some tokens, etc., and rules. And it's intended to be a UPF Ultimate Pit Fight introductory set, so that new and old Flesh and Blood players can get a taste of the UPF format. And there's a lot to be excited about when it comes to products like this. Experimental products that kind of do something other than just providing packs for players to crack open. And when it comes to products like this, look, I'm going to be honest. I think Smash Palace looks like a fun set. I think Smash Palace looks like a very well-designed set product. But I think Smash Palace is not going to do that great financially. And there's a reason for that. There's a big reason for that. There's a big problem with the Smash Palace design. And I don't think it's necessarily a problem if everybody goes into it with the same expectation, the same mentality. But there's something to consider when it comes to products like this. Crack and play full experience products, so to say, because it is a full experience product. If you, let's say that you and three of your guys want to get together and you don't have Flesh and Blood decks, but you want to get together one night and play some Flesh and Blood. You all decide to buy a box each and build a Blitz deck out of the cards you guys pull, right? Well, each of you has just cracked open a box. Let's say that you, just one guy, want to complete a Flesh and Blood set. Well, you're going to have to crack open a box. And then another box. And another box. And another box. And another box. It's going to keep going for a while. You see, Flesh and Blood, all TCGs, really, a lot of their success on the secondary market comes from repeat buyers or multiple buyers for a given product. And for products like Smash Palace, and we've seen this already in the past with Flesh and Blood, and I'll get to that in just a second. We've plenty of reasons, very loud truck passing by. With products like Smash Palace, there's very little incentive for repeat buyers or multiple buyers. If you and three friends want to get together with another Flesh and Blood product and draft the night away, you know, you might want to open a box or two, right? To get the packs. One box to draft, another box is prize support, whatever. But now, with the addition of Smash Palace, if you guys want to get together one night, maybe as just a fun thing to do, or maybe it's part of your LGS's tournament lineup, and you and three of your friends want to play Smash Palace, well, only one of you needs to buy the box. Or I should say, only one box needs to be sold. And that's the full experience. You don't need to buy multiple boxes to get different heroes or different event decks. Sure, you could buy it again to get different cards in the packs and try the event again. But for all intents and purposes, you've gotten what you wanted out of that one box. And that leads to the expectation mindset thing. You know, we've already seen a product like this, a 4-player complete in box experience with Round the Table. Round the Table was the first of the Blitz long boxes, which was a product line that did not last very long. I think, what was it? I think Mistail was the last one that did that, where they had 4 Blitz decks in a long box. They don't do those anymore because they weren't selling that well. In fact, around the table, I think it's like $35 now for those on the secondary marketplace, which just goes to show you how well those were not doing. And I don't think Smash Palace is going to do that badly. Well, just so you guys are clear, I don't think Smash Palace is going to be a complete failure because, like I said before, I do think it's a well-designed product. I do think the idea is interesting. And I do like the fact that there is randomness to it. There's no guarantee what's in the packs. There are packs in it. That adds a floor to the product, which I think is really great. But I do think that it's not going to do that well, especially in comparison to Mastery Pack Guardian and to other Flesh and Blood sets released around its time, such as High Seas and the upcoming... I already forget the name of the next set. I'm so ashamed. The sequel to Heavy Hitters. What is the name of that set? Oh, well, I'm not going to dwell on it too much. And the simple fact is, as I push that thought to the side, the simple fact is, when it comes to a full play experience, there really is little incentive for the average player, investor, collector, whatever have you. There's little incentive to buy the product multiple times because the expectation is low of there being a need to buy it multiple times, which is what happened to Round the Table and to all the other long box Blitz products. It's what's happened to Blitz Decks. It's what happened to, I suppose that's really the only two examples, isn't it? The Blitz Decks, the Blitz long boxes. This is the third. This is only the third complete in-box experience for those style decks, huh? Flesh and Blood amazes me with what it can come up with, even now, almost 6 years after the game has hit the market. Now, getting my off-track to off-track of an off-track tangent back on track. While I don't think Smash Palace is going to do phenomenally in terms of secondary market or initial market sales, I do think it's still a cool product. And I do think it's something that, thanks to the fact that it does have a floor of those packs, the Mastery Pack Guardian packs inside of it, I do think that there is some collectability and investability in the product, just because it does have that floor, it does have that long-term sustainability, just by having the chance of pulling whatever it could be in Mastery Pack Guardian. It's a cool concept, having a complete in-box experience that does still have that randomness factor to it. That's a cool thing to consider. Do I think the average Flesh and Blood player is going to take that into consideration when the product first comes to market? No, I don't. I think they're going to take one look at it, go, oh, this is a nice little experience for one night, and then move on with their lives. If only there was like some kind of magical way to insert just a bit more randomness into the product. Maybe make one of the heroes foil at random. That would have been nice. It probably wouldn't have changed much, but it would have just been a nice little bonus. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to say in this video. I know this was a bit of a shorter one, but I do want to say, before we close this out, I don't think it's a bad product. In fact, the opposite. I think it's a great product. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play for two reasons. One, introductory product to UPF, which is a good format. It's growing. I wish it the best. Two, it does look like for a group of 4 guys getting together just for an evening for Flesh and Blood. Maybe they don't want to dedicate a few $100s to decks of their own. Them all pitching in for a $70 product just to get the experience of Flesh and Blood going. I also think that's a pretty cool idea. So I think at its core, it's a cool product, and I'd like to see more products like it. But I think it's going to struggle to get off the ground, at least at the start, as the average Flesh and Blood player or the average person new to Flesh and Blood is going to see no reason to buy more than one of these per group of 4 people. That's all I got today. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Leave a comment down below if you agree with me, disagree with me, think I am crazy. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.